We've all been taught that helping others is one of the highest callings we can answer, right? We hear it from a young age. Be kind, be generous, always give, always help. If you're in a position to give, well, why not? But have you ever wondered if this philosophy might not always be the best course of action? What if, just maybe, all that giving is holding people back rather than helping them? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we should stop being kind or helping others. What I'm suggesting is this. We need to rethink how we help and who we help, because sometimes the very act of rescuing someone can do more harm than good. It's a tough pill to swallow, right? But hear me out. Think about it. When you constantly step in to save someone from their own consequences, you're not actually helping them. You're keeping them stuck, preventing them from learning life's most powerful lessons. What do I mean by that? Well, when someone keeps getting bailed out, when someone never feels the sting of their mistakes, do they ever truly grow? Do they ever learn how strong they can be on their own? This brings me to a vital question. Who are you pouring your energy into? Because there are people out there who will drain you dry, and no matter how much you give, it'll never be enough. That's not their fault. Well, not entirely. They might be stuck, and it's not your responsibility to stay stuck with them. So today, we're going to explore 7 types of people that you absolutely need to recognize, people that you might be unintentionally enabling. Not so you can judge them, but so you can protect your own energy. So you can stop rescuing those who need to face the consequences of their own actions. Ready to dive in? Let's do this. First on the list, the chronically lazy. Now, there's a big difference between someone who's struggling and someone who just won't try. Think about it. The person who's struggling, they'll take your help, sure, but they'll use it as a stepping stone. They'll take what you offer and move forward. But the chronically lazy person, they're not looking to move forward. They're looking for someone else to carry them. Let's put it this way. When you help someone who refuses to help themselves, you're not being kind. You're not saving them. You're keeping them weak. This is tough, I know. But sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let them feel the discomfort of their choices. It's only when they hit that wall, when staying stuck becomes harder than changing, that they'll finally make the move. Just like in nature. Ever noticed how a tree won't keep nourishing a branch that's not producing? It's not cruelty, it's wisdom. The same goes for people. If they're not doing anything to help themselves, maybe it's time to stop offering your help. Maybe it's time they feel that hunger, that discomfort. But here's the real kicker. Some people, they don't even realize they're stuck. They'll tell you about how tough life is, their bad luck, how unfair everything is. But if you look deeper, you'll see they're waiting for someone to solve it all for them. Are you the person doing all the solving? Are you doing more than they are? If you are, you're keeping them weak. You're robbing them of something vital, the satisfaction of standing on their own. Now let's talk about the perpetually ungrateful. You know the type. No matter what you do for them, they act as if it's nothing. It's like giving them the world, and they respond with, "Okay, what's next?" They take your time, your money, your energy, your heart, and they treat it like it's their due. No thank you, no acknowledgement, just entitlement. What's going on here? Gratitude is not just a nice thing to have. It's a fundamental trait of people who recognize they're part of something bigger than themselves. A grateful person understands that everything is a gift, not a right. They understand that when you help them, it's a blessing, not a burden. But the ungrateful, they see your help as a transaction. They don't see generosity. They see a way to exploit your kindness. And here's the paradox. The more you give, the less they appreciate it. It's like the bottomless pit of generosity. You keep giving, and they just take. And before you know it, they're angry with you for not giving more. Let me share an example with you. I knew a man who helped his friend pay rent for 6 months. 6 months, mind you. He sacrificed his own comfort to make sure his friend had a roof over his head. And how did his friend repay him? Complaints. Complaining about the apartment being too small. Complaining about the neighborhood. Complaining about how he had to live differently than others. And when the man had to stop helping, the friend felt betrayed. He was angry. He acted like the help was owed to him, like it was a debt rather than a gift. This, my friends, is the nature of the ungrateful. They don't see kindness. They see weakness, and they'll take and take until there's nothing left to give. Now, let's move on to the arrogant and self-righteous. These are the folks who don't want your help. They want your validation. They don't seek wisdom or insight from you. What they want is for you to confirm that they're right, no matter what. Ever tried to offer someone advice only to have them shut you down immediately? They don't want to hear it. They don't want to be challenged. They already believe they have all the answers, and anyone who dares to suggest otherwise is simply wrong. Pride, disguised as confidence, is at the root of this. But here's the thing. This arrogance, it's rooted in fear. These people are terrified of being wrong. Their entire identity is built on being right. The moment they admit they don't know something, the foundation of their whole self-image crumbles. Now, don't waste your energy on these folks. They may come across as strong, sure of themselves, but it's all a mask. You can't force wisdom into someone who's not ready to listen. You can't push a lesson into someone who's committed to their ignorance. In fact, when you try to help them, they'll reject you. The more you try to help, the more they double down on their belief that they have it all figured out. This is the tough truth. You can't help someone who refuses to acknowledge they need help. And you shouldn't feel bad about it. Jesus himself knew this. He didn't waste time chasing after those who refused to listen. He simply shared the truth and moved on. So, let them be. Let them hit the ground. Because only when they fall hard enough will they look up and realize that maybe, just maybe, they don't have all the answers. And only then will they be open to receiving help. But until that moment, all your wisdom will be lost on them. Next, we have the habitually wicked. Now, before you jump to conclusions, let me clarify. I'm not talking about someone who makes a mistake. We all make mistakes. We all have moments of weakness. But the wicked, they are those who choose a path of harm, who make lying, cheating, and manipulating a lifestyle. They are not confused. They know exactly what they're doing, and they do it anyway. The wicked person is someone who actively does harm without remorse. They don't repent when confronted. They justify their actions. And you know what? When you help someone like this, you're not helping them. You're enabling them. You're making it easier for them to continue their destructive behavior. You're giving them the resources they need to keep hurting others. If you continue to support a wicked person, you're not just helping them. You're becoming an accomplice to their darkness. They don't want your help to change. They want your help to perpetuate their evil ways. They want you to cover up their lies, clean up their mess, and fund their schemes. And if you step into that role, you're not helping them. You're feeding the system that allows them to keep doing harm. The wise traditions across cultures warn against helping those who do evil, not out of cruelty, but out of wisdom. Some people have chosen a path that leads to destruction, and the best thing you can do for them is to stop enabling them. If you try to pull them off that path, they will only drag you down with them. And once you're stuck with them, it'll be even harder to break free. Let's move on to the incurably foolish. The fool is not someone who lacks intelligence. No, The fool is someone who refuses to learn. They keep making the same mistakes over and over again, despite the fact that every bit of wisdom around them is begging to be taken seriously. They touch the hot stove again and again and wonder why they're burned every single time. The hardest part? The fool will come to you in crisis, desperate, looking for help. And as compassionate human beings, your natural instinct will be to dive in and rescue them. But here's where you need to pause and take a hard look at their history. This isn't their first crisis, is it? No, they've been here before. They keep repeating the same mistakes, and each time someone has bailed them out. But do they learn? No, they just keep on going down the same path, ignoring advice, rejecting wisdom. You know what this is like? It's like throwing a life preserver to someone who's drowning, only for them to refuse it, thrashing around and pulling you under in the process. Every time you intervene, you're just putting yourself at risk without solving anything. The fool has to learn from their own mistakes. And if you keep rescuing them, you're preventing life from teaching them the lessons they desperately need to learn. The consequences they face from their actions are the only things that will truly wake them up. You can't save them. Only life can teach them. Now we come to the master manipulator, perhaps the most dangerous type of person on this list. Why? Because they are the hardest to spot. They don't come with demands. They come with stories. They don't take from you directly. They make you want to give. These manipulators are experts in human nature. They understand how good people work, how we naturally want to help, how we feel guilty when we say no. And they use that to their advantage. They'll tell you exactly what you need to hear. They'll play on your emotions, make you feel special, needed, and important. Before you know it, you're doing things for them that you'd never do for anyone else. The manipulator is a shapeshifter. With one person, they're the victim. With another, they're the hero. They shift their stories depending on who they're talking to. And the more you help, the more they suck you into their web. But here's the kicker. When you stop giving, when you see through their act, they'll turn on you. They'll paint you as the villain and tell everyone how you wronged them. And just like that, they'll move on to the next person. You weren't helping them. You were feeding their games. Finally, we have the unrepentant rebel. This person knows better. They've been told. They've been corrected. They've been shown the right path. But they've chosen to go down the wrong one anyway. And no matter how many times you try to help, they refuse to listen. They don't care. They've made their choice, and nothing you say or do will change their mind. This is the hardest person to let go of, because you can see their potential. You can see what they could become if only they'd change. But here's the tough truth. You can't want their change more than they want it. You can't fight for their healing harder than they're fighting for it. And if you try, you'll exhaust yourself while they remain exactly the same. So, what do we do with all of this? Do we become cold and indifferent? Do we stop helping people altogether? No, the answer lies in discernment. We learn to recognize who is truly in need and who is stuck in a cycle they refuse to break. We learn to protect our energy and stop enabling the wrong people. True compassion is not about enabling bad behavior. It's about knowing when to step back and allow people to face the consequences of their own choices. Because it's often through hardship, through difficulty, through hitting rock bottom, that people wake up. So, take a moment to reflect. Who are you helping that you should let go? Who are you rescuing that needs to fall? And when you find the answer, have the courage to step back. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let them experience the weight of their own choices.